All right, I'm gonna make a quick little video here to show how you will use our little lab quest here to analyze the 7 samples that you've made. So if you are at this main screen, just touch LabQuest app, and what that's going to do is it's going to communicate with whatever we have hooked up here, and it recognizes that we are doing, we are connected in the USB port to something that's measuring absorbance. So that's what we're doing here. Now, for right now, we're not going to do full spectrum. We are going to do a fixed measurement. So we're going to do an event with entry. So that's what we need to click here, event with entry. Now, we are going to be measuring concentration, and it's going to have units of molarity. And honestly, what we write in here is not going to matter too much because we're not saving it, but we want to make sure we know what we're measuring. So we're going to say OK. Now, importantly, right now it says it's measuring at 0 nanometers. We don't want that. We need to change the wavelength. But first, let's go ahead. Well, let's change the wavelength first. So we're going to say 510. 510. Okay. So now we can see 510. I don't know why it says 509.6, but that's close enough. Okay. And then again, if we click here, we need to make sure we calibrate. So we need to put our water sample in. That's going to be our blank. So it goes in here, and make sure we've got the clear side. This is the path of the light. So we have to put it in here so that clear side is going through. We can say skip our warm up, finish our calibration. And then we're good to go. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to start our event with entry. So we're going to hit play. Okay, so what's happening is it's reading what's in there right now. That's our blank right now. So that's actually our first sample that's in there. So I can say I want to keep that, and it's asking me what's the concentration of that guy. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to say that it's 0. So okay. And now it's ready to look for another sample. So I'm going to take this guy out, and I'm going to put the next guy in. Now, in all honesty, it doesn't matter what order you put these in, as long as you make sure that you put in the right units for concentration. This is my second sample. So I'm going to put it in here, and I can see that the absorbance value is changing right here. So I'm going to want to keep this guy, and it's going to, again, ask me what's the concentration. So you need to come over here and look for your samples, and you need to enter in the concentration. So this one is 0.03. So I need to come in here. It's going to be 0.03. So 0.03, and I'm going to say OK. So we're going to keep doing that through all of our samples here. So I'm going to do that kind of quickly here. Grab this guy out, and literally it's just plug and play. Put the next guy in. We can see the absorbance went up. We're going to say keep, and now we're going to put in 0.06. Say OK, and we keep getting more and more samples here. So going fairly quickly here through the rest, put it in, I'm going to make sure that it's stabilized. I'm going to say keep. This one is 0.075. Okay. Next guy. Again, we're going to see that that keeps changing and increasing. Okay, I'm going to say keep 0.09. Okay. Put my next guy in. Keep 0.105. Okay. Got 2 more to do here. You can see once you get your samples ready, that's kind of the rate limiting step here. Once you get your samples ready, we're good to go. Now we're at 0.12. Okay, so it's going to be okay. Got 1 more to do here. Our last sample goes in here. I'm going to say after that's stabilized, we're going to say keep This is 0.15. Okay. So what we can see here is we've got a pretty nice line. Now this sample is a little bit odd. I don't know quite what's going on with that one. Could have just been a sample that was made incorrectly. But once we're all set here, okay, then we're ready to go on to the next step, which is to sort of analyze this and get a slope. Okay, so we go, oh. All right, when you are all done here, you're going to hit the stop button, okay, which means we're all ready to analyze our data. So we're going to say analyze, okay, and then you're going to do curve fit, and we want to do that. Choose fit, a linear fit. We can see here there's a little bit of weight given to that plot, but for the most, or that data point, for the most part, it's pretty good here. And your slope here, that's the guy that you want to write down. That's the important number that you want to write down.